Like, how is it going? What is German data going to look like? How bad is it going to get?
Yeah, it looks like we are kind of isolated from what's happening in Germany.
Okay.
We see for the metals that we produce, the industrial metals, but also the precious metal, we see a strong demand. And everything what is happening there, changing from fossil energy to electrification to decarbonized economy, means more copper, more of the metals that we produce. Combined with circular economy, getting more metals back into the loop is really where we play. And therefore, I'm very bullish about the outlook, what we see actually in our numbers and also the way forward. Copper is growing, and I can just underline what Jeff said. Copper is a great metal, and it's a great future.
Roland, good morning. It's Guy in London. I hear what you're saying. Demand is likely to be strong going forward. But what about the supply side? I want to talk about some specific issues relating to your company in just a moment. But we've just been talking about what's happening in the Red Sea, the Panama Canal. You've got exposure to the Cobre mine as well, which has been an issue in Panama. Are you getting the copper inputs, and are you getting what you need as easily as you would want at the price you want to be able to give that copper effectively back to the market in a smelted form?
Yeah. There is enough copper, and from speaking now for Aurubis, there is enough supply in quantity and quality that we need. There are many different mines, and the philosophy and the strategy of Aurubis has always been to be flexible and diversified in our sources where we buy from. So that means if one mine has a problem, which always happens, then it doesn't really hit our supply chain that much. So, clear answer, we are well supplied in quality and quantity, and we also see a growing supply from very important mining projects around the world. So if you take the numbers, there's a 7% growth in mining concentrates, so copper concentrate, which is a product coming from the mines, being predicted for this calendar year. And also Wood Mackenzie and CRU, they see the market demand and supply being more or less balanced around the world, despite the disruption, which are already factored in that we hear around the world. So. Quick answer, yes, we are well supplied.
Fair enough, but the First Quantum Panama mine, I mean, that's a really big problem. Like, that's just not like, ooh, we may have to do force majeure because there's issues in the area. I mean, that's like a large closure of a mine that has a lot of supply globally. How do you see that kind of playing out for the rest of the year?
I'm here an optimist, because if you see, it's an excellent mine. It's a business partner we are dealing with for many years. And they have done all the important steps and ingredients to have an ESG, to be compliant with the highest standards. They treat their people extremely well. They are so important for the economy of Panama. So I hope that common sense will prevail and that this mine will be coming back on stream. However, if it's not the case, there are other new mines in the world, in South America and also in other parts of the world, which come in on stream, which will kind of compensate the lack of supplies from Panama.
Roland, you're big in the recycling business, and that has been tough recently. You suffered a scam where some of the input costs that you were buying turned out to be not the product that you were hoping for, and as a result of which there's an investigation that has been ongoing into how that ultimately happened. A law firm has been looking at this very carefully. We were anticipating that we'd be getting more news on this at the beginning of this year. Where is that investigation? What do you know about what happened now?
We have a very good understanding of what has happened and how our systems had been kind of circumvented and bypassed, also with the support, and that's the really sad part of the story, of some few employees in our company. So they found gaps, they found holes in our security system, which is well established and well at least industry standards, if not leading. And we have taken the necessary measures, and now the probability of this being repeated is close to zero. So we have done our homework. We have identified also this new kind of criminality, this organized criminal activity that is much more clever and structured than we saw it before. So we are safe now, we are done. And to your first part of the question, investigation, as it was announced on the 19th of December, the investigation will be finished by Hengeler Mueller by the end of this month. And so then the news will be out as soon as they are available.
Okay.
But it's progressing well, yeah.
So right before earnings, then we can get you back and circle back on all of that.
Yeah.
We were just talking in the earlier segment about what's happening with the Red Sea. You also have issues with the Panama Canal, just in terms of getting ships to places most efficiently, and freight rates have really spiked. What are you seeing, and how are you navigating it?
So again, it's the point that we have so many different supply sources. We have, in the primary side, we have 40, 50 different mines around the world supplying us to the 2 smelters, one in Bulgaria, one in Germany. And on the recycling side, it's even more. We have hundreds of different suppliers. And our strength is that we are able to treat all kind of input materials. So if it's different, difficult concentrates, complex concentrates, precious metal containing concentrates, we have the technology to treat them. And the same is for the recycling side. Recycling is for us a very wide market because we can treat everything which is the metal containing part of the recycling stream. So if one product, one recycling material is not available in the quantities we need, we have alternatives. So that's the strength of Aurubis, that we always can optimize and are diversified in our supply chains and business partners.
What are the ways that you can kind of circumnavigate, to excuse that use of phrase, that phrase, some of these issues, is to shift production. And you've done that in the United States. You pushed forward with this Richmond plant that I think the First Lady visited late last year. Where are you with that plant? How big a difference is it going to make? And do such plants make economic sense without significant government support? And is that maybe a lesson that Europe needs to look at as well?
So for the Richmond plants, we started the project and decided the project in December 21. And we already in December 22, we decided to double the capacity of this plant. It's a 750 million euro investment. And we did this before IRA or any special subsidies were launched in the US. So we are confident and we know it's a great market here in the US. There is an increasing requirement for circular economy for the minerals that we produce coming out of the recycling streams. So this will be a very successful project going forward. And we are on track. We had groundbreaking in June 22, and we are going to start to ramp up production in August this calendar year. So we are able to build this very big plant in a 2 years time frame, and we are on track. And I'm going in the second part of this week, I'm going down to Augusta to meet the project team there, which is now grown to 100 people. So we have also been able to hire the talent, to hire the right people to run our project. So we are very confident, and I'm very optimistic about this first phase that we are doing in the US. And to put it in perspective, this plant will treat about 180,000 tons of recycling material input and will produce about 60,000 tons of copper and other important metals. It's a first step in a large US market. To put in perspective, the US market is about a 6 million ton market of recycling material which are attractive for Aurubis. So 180,000 tons is a very important, it's the first of its kind recycling plant in the US. But just to underline, it's the first step that we are doing in the US, and we have the intention to do others and at an accelerated pace if also some of the incentive packages will allow.